10 compliments, 1 criticism. Guess which one your mind remembers? Definitely not the 10 compliments. The one sentence that made you feel or made you wonder, did I do something wrong? Right? And even though the person who actually said it has probably forgotten about it, but your mind hasn't. So it keeps replaying it again and again. But the question is, why does that happen? Why does one negative comment stay with you for a very long time when 10 positive ones disappear so quickly? So if that's ever happened to you, you're about to discover something most people never realize about the way their mind works. Let's say your manager says, everything looks good, but next time, improve this section. Maybe someone close to you says, I expected better from you, right? Or maybe someone makes a very casual comment and doesn't even realize how much it affected you. And they have moved on, they have forgotten about it, but your mind hasn't. You don't move, right? You don't move on. You're driving back home, and the conversation starts replaying. You're having a dinner, it pops up back again into your mind. You're lying down and trying to sleep, and there it is again. So you're thinking about the same thing. Eventually, you are no longer thinking about what they actually said. You're thinking about what it might mean. Maybe I'm disappointed them. Maybe they don't respect me anymore. Maybe they're right? And here's what most people miss. The comment is not the only reason or the real reason that you're getting hurt. It's simply the moment your mind started telling a story. And now that raises a bigger question, that where does that story come from? Right? And here's something really fascinating. When someone speaks to you, your mind does not just hear only the words. It instantly tries to answer another question. What does this mean? Right? Not just what did they mean by that? What did they say? What does this say about me? Does this mean I'm not good enough? I've failed? Or people won't accept me? And these happen so quickly, and most of us don't even notice it. And here's what's really interesting. Your mind does not answer those questions using today's conversation alone, right? Hear me out. It answers them using something it has learned from yesterday or from the past. Every experience, every disappointment, every success, every moment that left an emotional mark. Which explains something most people have never thought about. Right? So if the words alone created the emotion, everyone would have reacted in a similar way. But they don't. So the words alone can't be the whole story, right? Imagine this, 2 people hear exactly the same feedback from the manager. Their manager says that you need to be more confident while presenting. One person thinks that's useful, I'll work on it. The other one thinks I'm terrible. Everyone must think that I'm incompetent. You see, the same words, the same manager, but completely different emotional experience. Why? Because neither of the person is responding only to the words. They're responding to what those words mean to them. And here's the insight that I want you to remember. The comment alone didn't create the pain. It uncovered a story that was already there. Think about that, right? Maybe the criticism alone didn't make you feel not good enough. Maybe it touched a part of you that already feared it. And that's why one sentence can feel so much heavier than it actually is. Notice this part. How sometimes some criticism barely affects you. You forget it within a minute, but other comments stay with you for days, for weeks, for months. Why does this happen in the first place? Is because not every comment matches the same story. Now imagine someone tells you your handwriting is messy. You laugh and move on. Now imagine someone says you're not reliable. And that one stayed. Not just because only the words are stronger, but because they touched something important, something deeper inside you. Maybe somewhere in your life in the past, you've started believing that I have to prove myself. I can't make mistakes. If I disappoint people, they will stop valuing me. Right? The comment didn't create those ideas. It simply woke them up. And once that happens, your mind quietly starts collecting evidences. Maybe they're right. I've done this before. What if something like that happens? What if everyone thinks of this? And suddenly all those 10 compliments disappear and one criticism becomes a proof. right? Not because it's more true, but because it matches the story your mind already knows. Now, here's what's another interesting part. If your mind can learn a story, it can also learn a different one. And it starts with asking different questions. So next time someone's words stay with you, don't immediately ask, why did they say that? Instead, pause and ask yourself this. Number one, what did I make those words mean? Notice the difference. Not what did they say, but what meaning did I give those words? Then ask yourself, have I felt this way before? Not because today's comments created the feeling, but because it reminded me of something older. And then ask yourself, if I didn't already believe this about myself, would these words still hurt in the same way? And that one question changes so much. You see, because sometimes it's not today's conversation that you're reacting to, right? It's yesterday's story, something that happened in the past. And maybe that's why one negative comment stays with you, not because criticism is more powerful than the appreciation, but because criticism has a way of finding the stories we've never questioned, right? And here's the good news. A story isn't your identity. It's simply the meaning that your mind learned to give certain experiences. And the meanings can change, right? The moment they change, your emotional experience begins to change. So if this video helped you to understand your mind a little in a different way, I would love to know. Leave a comment and tell me what's one comment that you've never forgotten. You don't have to explain the whole story, just share the lesson it left behind, right? And I read every comment. And if you're really curious to understand more of the hidden patterns and that quietly shape your emotions, confidence, and your relationship, do subscribe to my channel, because every week we will uncover another pattern your mind has been running in the background and explore a different way of seeing it. And I'll see you in the next video.